thank you for joining us here on North Metro TV. I'm Rusty Ray, and this is our Local Decision 2019 coverage, where we have a series of candidate forums with candidates in various local races as we get ready for November 5th, Election Day, both a general election and in some races a primary election looking ahead to the new year. Tonight we will bring you the Spring Lake Park School Board Candidate Forum. We have 4 candidates here who have joined us for a round of questions. We're going to have a chance for each one of them to answer those questions in order, and each person will get a minute to answer those questions. And then we're going to start with an opening statement, and then we'll have a closing statement from each of our candidates. And I'm glad that they are here and hope that we can shed some light on what they hope to see happen as we get ready for the election. We will start with our opening statements with Sarah BOWE. Good evening.
Good evening. Again, my name is Sarah BOWE, and my husband and I have lived in the Spring Lake Park School District for 8 years. We have 2 daughters, one at Westwood and one at North Point. I have a public school teacher for a mom. My in-laws are both public school teachers, so learned early on the value and impact that a public school education can have. I went on to double major in business administration and business education, and then earned a master's in business education as well. I've taught for 16 years in the middle school, junior high, high school, and community college, and right now I'm teaching at the University of St. Thomas. If elected, I would focus on continued improvement of academics, appropriate use of technology, and preparing our students for their post-secondary options.
Okay, Sarah, thank you very much, and
thank
you
you
for being here. Next, for an opening statement, we go to Kelly DELFS. Welcome.
Thank you. Good evening. I'm Kelly DELFS, and my husband Brad and I have been residents for almost 40 years in District 16. We have 4 grown children who have all gone through the District 16 schools, and I have 2 grandchildren who are also district residents. I have done everything in the schools, from volunteering from preschool screening all the way up to a prom chaperone. And one year I was lucky enough to draw the straw to be the one to remind the students to spit their gum out before they went down for the Grand March. I believe in quality education, and I believe our district can do that, and will continue to do that with my leadership.
Okay, Kelly, thank you very much and welcome. Thank you for being here. Next, we have Amy HENNEN. Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you for having us here tonight. My name is Amy HENNEN, and I've lived in the Spring Lake Park School District for 15 years with my family. My husband and I have 2 children. We have a son who's in college, who's a 2018 graduate of Spring Lake Park High School, and a daughter who is just starting her senior year there. I have served on the Spring Lake Park School Board for almost 8 years, and during that time I've served as the board clerk, the vice chair, and now serve as the board chair. Prior to my election to the school board, I served on several district PTOs, the Panther Foundation Board of Directors, the Community Advisory Council, and I co-chaired both the Legislative Action Committee and Kids First Committee. For many years, I was also a soccer team manager and volunteered in libraries in the district and the Anoka County level. And my professional background is in law and policy, and I have practical experience bringing people together to discuss complex issues. And I hope to continue to use that expertise working for the students in our district. Thank you.
All right, Amy, thank you very much. And finally, with an opening statement, 1 minute, here is Tony Easter. Good evening.
Thank you. My name is Tony Easter. Deneen and I are residents of Spring Lake Park and have lived in the area for over 20 years. Our son Jathan graduated from Spring Lake Park High School in 2016, and our daughter graduated this past spring. I work for a large financial firm in downtown Minneapolis as a team leader in the marketing department. Prior to my election to the school board, I also served on the Spring Lake Park Schools Community Facilities Design Team. I served on the board at the Emma B. Howe YMCA, coached summer and fall baseball, and for more than 10 years I served as a leader in many roles for the Boy Scouts of America. For the past 3 years, I also served as chaperone for the high school marching band program. Volunteering for the school and other organizations has given me the opportunity to understand what our students, families, and residents want from our school district.
Okay, Tony, thank you very much. And we will open our questions with kind of a broad question, a big picture question, and I think it's okay to start there. And I want to know what you think are the biggest, or maybe the biggest challenge facing the Spring Lake Park School District. And we will begin this question at 1 minute for each person to answer. First, we'll go to Kelly. Biggest challenge facing the district right now?
In my opinion, one of our biggest challenges right now is getting our basic skill percentage higher. We are currently in the middle to lower percentile of school districts our size. And I believe we need to focus on basic education and do right by our students and bring those numbers up. Another huge obstacle is the limited funding that we have, and we have to continue to be good stewards of our taxpayers' money.
Okay, Kelly, thank you very much. Amy, biggest challenge right now for the district?
Yeah, I guess I would agree with where Kelly started and say that probably our biggest challenge is bringing up our standardized test scores. We think they're very important, and we work hard to help our kids succeed on them, but we focus on our students in our district and their overall learning experience and their ability to think critically, prepare them for life beyond K-12, and we hope that the tests follow that, but we've had some challenges in that in the past few years, and so we hope to improve those scores. Also, it's always a challenge to address the achievement gap. That is a big issue in Minnesota, and we believe very strongly in our district in personalized education, knowing each student by name, strength, interest, and need, and working with students individually like that is one step toward beginning to close that gap, but that continues to be a big challenge for all of us.
Okay, Amy, thank you very much. Tony, the biggest challenge as you see it for the district?
Just to agree with and tag on to what Amy had stated at the end of her comment is the achievement gap. Right now, we're not where we want to be as a district in our math and reading proficiency, and we really need to focus on that because those are the key, those are foundational to helping our students in the post-secondary careers. So have we made progress? We have made progress in closing that gap, but we still have a lot of work to do.
Okay, Tony, thank you very much. Sarah, biggest challenge?
They've brought up good things. Achievement gap is something that I would say as well. There's been a lot of debate over the years about the value of standardized test scores. I think they're important. As has previously been said, I think it's a good indicator of how well the students are learning, but also where that gap is and where the needs need to be addressed. I also think the appropriate use of technology is something that needs to be addressed as well. Sometimes activities that might seem to be an academic activity might turn into a distraction for some kids. So just to continue to focus on making sure that those are kept at the highest standards possible.
Okay, Sarah, thank you very much. Let's talk again about the achievement gap. I wanted to delve into that. Many of you have already touched on that. It's continually in the headlines. It comes up again. Some people may understand it. Some people may not be able to relate to it or don't really know what it refers to. But let's talk specifics, or let's talk about solutions. Or do you think there are specific things that the district at each of the schools maybe, or as a district as a whole, can do to address this issue? And we will start in this with Amy. Achievement gap, are there any specific ideas that you might have?
Yeah, I don't mean to repeat myself from earlier, but I truly do believe, well, first of all, I would say that the administration and the staff in our district care very much about this issue. We know about it, we know it has to be addressed, and this concentration that we have on personalizing our learning, knowing every student, meeting them where they're at, getting them the support they need, and really coming up with personalized plans for each and every student is really the best idea I have to start working toward closing that gap.
Okay, Amy, thank you very much. Tony, achievement gap, do you have any more specific things you can say? You did address it a few minutes ago, but are you looking at anything that you think could be implemented or ideas that could be discussed?
Sure, and that's a great question. I think at this point the district is moving in the right direction. Closing the achievement gap is part of our district operational plan. The board takes it very serious, and that is reflected through some of the activities that the administration has taken on to try and increase the progress that we've made in closing that gap. For example, one of them is we've implemented a new math curriculum, and right now we're just waiting to see the results on the improvements that has brought about. So I think we are moving in the right direction. I think another opportunity is using technology to reach out to parents. Through our personalized learning, we can better communicate to our parents the progress that students are making towards closing that gap.
Okay, Tony, thank you very much. Sarah, achievement gap, any specifics maybe that you wanted to mention?
Everything that everybody has said I agree with. That's what happens when you go last, I suppose. I think that one thing that I can say I appreciate about Spring Lake Park is they have a systems advisory, kind of a parent group that I've been a part of that is really great about bringing parents together, asking them questions. How do you think we should address these things? And I think that's a big place to start with this discussion is what do the teachers think? Not just looking at test scores, because that's important too.
Right.
But also, what do these teachers, like Amy was saying, know their names, know their strengths, know their weaknesses. Let's start with them. Parents, administrators, community members. What kind of suggestions can we come up with to close this gap?
Okay, Sarah, thank you very much. Finally, Kelly, specifics on this
Right.
plan.
I agree with everything that everyone has said. One thing that I see us having in the district and that we need to continue is we have programs in place that help with the social economical disparity that we have. And quite frankly, the poorest mom in our district wants the best education for her student as well as the higher level income. We've got some programs in place where we can help the families when they're in crisis and help our students in crisis. If we can do that, I think we can work on the achievement gap.
Okay, Kelly, thank you very much. We started this discussion by talking about perhaps the biggest challenge facing the district. Let's talk maybe about opportunities. Do you think that there is anything specific or unique, I should say, to the school district, whether it be geography, whether it be surrounding industry, any partnerships that are already in place, or maybe potential partnerships? Are there any opportunities that you think maybe the next 5 or 10 years that the district maybe could take better advantage of and could capitalize on, or continue a relationship that could benefit all of the students and maybe address some of these issues we've talked about? Tony, we'll start with you.
Thank you. That is a great question, and that is actually one of the goals that I'd like to see if I'm reelected to the school board, is to open up these opportunities for the community to become involved with our schools. One of the opportunities that we have seen great progress in and a tremendous support from the community in is our program for college in the schools, our Pathways program. We have one for business where we actually are engaging businesses within our community to come in and work with our students to prepare them for different careers. So that has been very successful. The other opportunity is we need to look at the businesses and other organizations within our community that can come in and play a role in helping to mentor and lead our kids to their success.
Okay, Tony, thank you very much. Sarah, anything in place that you think maybe the district could capitalize on, or maybe use as an opportunity to grow and offer more opportunities?
I think the Panther Foundation is an organization in the Spring Lake Park District that is unbelievable. They raise a lot of money for the students every year. That money is not in the budget, so it's extra funds that can be used for things that are outside of the regular budgeted activities, and I think that's an amazing organization filled with people who care, and a lot of those people don't have kids in the district. So they're not just doing it to, further something that their own student is going to benefit from. These are just people that care about the district, and I think that's amazing. An amazing feature that is unique to the school board, or the Spring Lake Park. I've not heard of an organization like that. I think they've raised almost $1 million, maybe more, I could be wrong, so really amazing.
Okay, Sarah, thank you very much. Kelly, an opportunity there to maybe capitalize or to grow or to offer a new chance for opportunities for students?
Right. Well, that's a real good question. I would like to just start by saying that I am serving as a member of the Panther Foundation. I've been on that board for 2 years. So that's an opportunity for us to bring some of the extras to our students that they would not be able to receive otherwise. I look forward to partnering with the new Hy-Vee that is going up in Spring Lake Park right across from our high school. And I know that in the communities that they serve, they have been very active in their districts. One thing we have to keep in mind is that our school district is very much landlocked. There are very limited resources to bring more students and get a higher tax base. So we need to use the opportunities we have with our own dollars that we have and not look forward to receiving any more.
Okay, Kelly, thank you very much. Amy, opportunities there?
Yeah, I think we should continue to partner with our community in opportunities like Tony referred to with our Pathways program. We also are part of a consortium with a few other districts around ours where we are just beginning in the next few years to explore opportunities to work with other districts in offering classes that we don't currently offer in our district, so their students could come to our schools, our students could go to theirs. I think that's a really interesting opportunity for our kids to expand the classes they can take and the experiences that they can be exposed to. I also think in a district like ours, where we have parts of 3 cities in our district, we have to continually really work to engage our community, reach out to them, find out what people are thinking, and use those insights when we're making decisions and asking questions and doing our critical thinking and all of the things we do on the board.
Okay, Amy, thank you very much. You guys, all parents, grandparents in some cases, students, former students, your kids grew up in the district, you worked and been involved, but when you're talking with other parents right now, today, this week, in the process of this campaign leading up to the election, what do you tell them about the direction that you want to see? What do you tell them about what's going on or where you think the district can go if there's these opportunities or other things that we've talked about? Where do you see that headed, and what are you talking about with those parents? We will start back here with Sarah.
Increasing test scores is something that I'm talking to parents about. They're concerned about that. I am as well. I have 2 small children in the district. My other focus area of interest is the post-secondary options. Tony just mentioned that a little bit. Really excited about those options that the kids have. I think all kids, as they're going through high school, need to start thinking about what they want to do. There's several different pathways that they could take. They could get a job somewhere. They need training for that. They could go to a community college. They could go to a university. They could go to the military. You know, there's a lot of variety of things that they could do, but do something. And so how can I help shape and prepare them to make sure that whatever they do choose to do, that they will be the most prepared that they can be.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Kelly, when you're talking to or maybe hearing from parents, what are you saying to them about the direction you see for the district?
In the past 25 years, when I previously served on the school board, I have seen our district grow by leaps and bounds. And one of the great opportunities and one of the things that the parents are talking to me about is how can we help in the classroom specifically if the technology and the iPads become a distraction, or if we have students that need extra support that are looking for attention and are being distracting. How can we help our teachers and our staff accommodate those students and look to find out why are they disruptive and look to possibly limit the technology. We have strong teachers, and we need to allow them to teach and not just technology and iPad based.
Okay, Kelly, thank you very much. Amy, what are you hearing? What are you talking to them about?
Right. Well, I'd say what I've been hearing a lot about, because my kids are older especially, are about our facilities. People are really excited about our facilities. That's a little bit different than I would say what my vision for the district is, and kind of pulling all those things together, kind of 2 separate things. But you know, my vision for the district that I talk to families is about the personalized learning and knowing every student. That's our district's vision that I strongly support. But what people are talking about is the facilities and the amount of time and expertise that the district has brought in to do the planning for those, to make sure that they are centered around learning, that they're flexible, that kids can learn in them, having creative learning spaces and STEM maker spaces and new facilities for activities so that we know that students who participate in activities are more likely to show up to school and do better in school and do better down the road. So all of those things.
Okay, Amy, thank you very much. Tony, what are you saying? What are you hearing?
What I'm hearing is I'm hearing a lot of pride in our community about our facilities and what we have done. Our citizens and residents are just amazed at the updates and the new facilities that we're providing. But I'm also hearing that parents want to understand and know that their students, that their children are receiving a quality education. And I do express to them the amount of energy and time that the administration is putting into doing research and performing analytics to find out where those gaps are in our students' learning, and putting plans around that and enabling teachers to address those gaps and increase the learning of our students. I also expressed to them that what we're building here in Spring Lake Park, we're building lifelong learners, not just learners to pass a test and meet the requirements on a test, but we're building students that will learn for a lifetime.
Okay, Tony, thank you very much. We've talked a little bit about your experiences again in the district, working, raising families in the district, looking back on that, but let's look forward now. This will be the final question, and then we'll get to the closing statements. Where do you see the district in 20 years? Where is the district going? What is going to happen? Where do you think things are going to go in 20 years? And we will start with Kelly on this one.
I see things continually improving in our district. In 20 years, it will not be a question of how will our staff learn everybody's names, but it's going to be a question of, yes, they do know everyone's names and their interests. I see our facilities as being a huge benefit, and we need to maintain those going forward. We have to remember that roofs still need to be repaired, and as nice as our schools are on the inside, we also have to remember the outside exterior, and those parking lots need to be fixed up as well. I see only good things happening for 20 years. I see nothing negative in the future of Spring Lake Park schools.
Okay. Kelly, thank you very much. 20 years. Looking ahead,
Wow,
yeah, it's kind
yeah.
of scary to think about.
That's
but
crazy.
What do you see, Amy?
Yeah, I see kind of the face of education changing. I think there will be more and more online learning. There will be more and more hybrid learning where a student comes to class some days, other days works from home. And I think our district is really well positioned to handle the challenges of that kind of learning as we go forward. There will always be learning in classrooms and wonderful discussions. Having personalized learning plans for all of our kids will just help us figure out what works best for them, which classes they will succeed in the most. And yeah, just prepare them for life beyond high school, even 20 years from now.
Okay. Amy, thank you very much. Looking ahead 20 years, it's a big
20 years,
task.
that's
but-
a long time.
Yeah, well, it is a long time, but what do you think, Tony?
I think our district is laying the foundation for working with students, not just 20 years from now, but even 10 years from now. We're laying that foundation because the face of education is changing so quickly that we need to be prepared and be ready to help those students and adapt to those different learning styles. There are some learning styles out there that I believe that we have not even touched on yet because technology changes so quickly, and so does our society and culture. So I believe that the district is making headway and that they are laying a strong foundation. Just by the facilities that we've built, we have flexible learning spaces. We do have an online program for students to learn online, and I believe that we'll see that expand in the next 5, 10, and 20 years.
Okay, Tony, thank you very much. Sarah, 20 years.
It's a long time.
Yes,
You know, when I look back 20 years and I see the things that have changed in my lifetime, when I was student teaching, even the things that have changed in education, the options that the students have, like Amy was saying, to learn, will just hopefully continue to grow. And I can see Spring Lake Park making that happen. The options for students that have different ways that they need to learn, how can we manage those well, make sure that they're being taught too. Looking ahead and seeing the different opportunities that they might have post-secondary that we can prepare them for. It's really exciting. Hope to be part of it.
Okay, Sarah, thank you very
Thank you.
much. Those are my questions. Now we'll give each candidate a chance up to a minute to give a closing statement. And for that, we will start with Amy Henneman.
Okay, great. Thank you again for hosting this panel. I have spent the last 12 years dedicating myself to the Spring Lake Park school system, and I am truly passionate about public education. I strongly believe that with support and opportunities to learn in a personalized way, every student in our district can succeed. And I would be honored to continue representing the District 16 community. It's a supportive and strong community that we are incredibly lucky to have and to serve. I will continue to support the district's judicious use of our taxpayer dollars and their commitment to student safety, as well as to continue to collaborate with my fellow board members, district administration, staff, teachers, parents, and the larger Spring Lake Park Schools community. I hope on November 5th, you'll vote for leadership, passion, and experience, and vote for me, Amy Henneman. Thank you.
Okay, Amy, thank you very much. Now for a closing statement, Tony Easter.
Thank you. Thank you again for hosting the forum this evening. During my term as a school board member, the board has demonstrated its fiscal responsibility for the residents through its refinancing of many bonds. We touched each facility with improvements to enhance learning, and we continue to make progress on the district's initiative to personalize learning. My desire is to continue to use my talents and skills to guide the district toward improving the learning gaps, especially gaps in our math and reading proficiency at all grade levels and demographics, and to continue developing the best all-around learning environment possible. I would be honored to continue serving as your school board member. I ask that you vote for Tony Easter on November 5th.
All right, Tony, thank you very much. And now we'll go to Sarah BOWE.
Thank you for the opportunity for this debate tonight. Spring Lake Park is a great district with amazing kids, amazing teachers. If elected, I'll continue to advocate for all the students in the district and try to provide them with the best education possible. I believe I have the background, the expertise, and the commitment to be an asset to the school board. And I hope that the viewers will consider me on November 5th. Thank you.
Sarah, thank you very much. And finally, for a closing statement, Kelly DELFS.
Thank you for hosting this evening. I would just like to say in the past 25 years that I served on the school board, I was proven to be dependable, and I showed my commitment to each and every student and family in this district. I would like to continue with that, and I will always put our student first. Each student comes before anything else, in my opinion, and I hope the voters will agree with me and return me to the school board on November 5th.
Okay, Kelly, thank you very much. And we want to thank all of our candidates here with the Spring Lake Park School District and talking about this race and talking about their vision and their goals and their inspirations to run or to run again for these seats. We want to thank them all here. We have Sarah BOWE, we have Kelly DELFS, Amy HENNEN, and Tony Easter. Thank you all for being here this evening. And thank you for watching. And North Metro TV has you covered on Local Decision 2019. We're going to have these forums available for you to watch on the air on TV here. Also online on our YouTube channel and on northmetrotv.com. And also at North Metro TV, you want to go and check out and read more about these candidates and candidates in all of our local races. We've asked them to provide us information, both biographical and maybe even information about any endorsements or other support that they may have as they work towards Election Day, November 5th. And again, you can watch these forums on our channels, and we'll have them on our social media channels, YouTube and on Facebook. Thank you for joining us for Local Decision 2019. For North Metro TV News, I'm Rusty Ray.